we are going to be talking about what is the sweet spot between trusting the process and being a control freak. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I love what we are going to talk about today because you know what? I am a recovering control freak, right? And sometimes I feel myself trying to control things and that's not really helpful. So I thought, why not for today's Tuesday tea? Well, not Tuesday tea. Tuesday tea was on Tuesday. Today's live tea. Talk about this. How can we reach that sweet spot where we are allowing ourselves to trust the process, but also not being like, I'm not going to do anything because the process is processing, right? Because there's also that other side of the spectrum where, we don't do things because we need to trust the process. But I have a feeling that most of the people listening to this are right now actively building and being in this messy middle where it seems like nothing is happening and we feel like we're hanging from a thread and we're like, oh my God, I really want this thing to work, but nothing is moving. How the fuck am I supposed to trust the process when nothing is happening, when like the universe is not sending me signs? At least that's my belief. Like I'm a spiritual person, but you transported this to your own beliefs, okay? But basically it's that feeling of being like, oh my God, what freaking process do I have to trust? Like nothing is happening right now. I mean, who haven't been there? Like I've been there so many times. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today. So we're going to talk about why is it so hard to trust the process and what the fuck does it even mean? Like to trust the process. Yeah. Because some of us are like, what does that even mean? And I have this imagery to share with you about what trusting the process actually means. And not the spiritual bypassing part where it's just like, yeah, the universe, everything happens for a reason and the universe will just, anyway. Um, and then, and then how important it is to keep taking action and keep taking aligned action to see the results, right? Because it's not only about trusting the process, it's about you taking action. And part of not being able to trust the process is not being sure if you are doing things right. So we're going to talk about this. Now, if this is the first time that you are landing here, our live tea sessions are always based on our Tuesday tea, which is an article that I share with you every week where I'm talking about all things building, creating business, creating the life that we want, and being in this messy middle and how challenging it is. And this Tuesday tea was actually very specific. It was about the truth. I have to read it right now because my mind is not sharp today. Let me tell you. Okay. So I have plenty of notes and, I'm all about cycle syncing. So we're on our late luteal phase. The brain is taking a little bit more to process things. So I've got my notes. I'm going to read it. The T was about the truth. See, truth is it takes time and it is triggering AF. So it was, an article on you giving yourself permission to allow things to take time. And then I gave you strategies to help you actually navigate those phases where it looks like nothing is happening. You are tired. You have been working so hard. You are frustrated. So it's a great article for you to actually check what is it that you can do, okay? And the link to the article is going to be down below. And if you don't know me by now, my name is Erica, your coach for what's next. I help women who've been through a lot, have done the work, and are right now or about to start building something that actually means something to them. They are building the life that they really want. And oftentimes that includes building a business. So if this is you, business or not, welcome to the Gentle Badass. We have so much fun over here. Okay. All right. So in the post that I shared in this week's Tuesday tea, I talk about this thing where when we're taking action, right? And that action is aligned and sometimes even not aligned action. It feels like, that expression, doing things that move the needle. So when we are taking action, it's like we have a needle in our hands and we're kind of like threading, but the the thread is invisible. The thread is translucent. And we have no idea what is it that we are creating. I mean, we know where we are going, but we are not sure what is happening and if what we want is actually being materialized, it's actually being manifested, it's actually happening, right? And I used to go to this virtual business school in Kelly Roach's, and she always talks about how your business is like 3 months behind you, right? So sometimes what you do right now, you are only going to see results like 3 months after. So when you are when you are doing something right now, it's those invisible threads are doing something. Those invisible threads are taking you to the right people, are guiding you in the right direction, are helping you learn the lessons that you need to learn in order to get to where you want to be, right? And I touch on this in the Tuesday Tea as well. And the problem with this is that it's so hard when you are in the messy middle, when you are in the trenches and you can't see the freaking thread. You are just doing things and you are hoping for the best. Doesn't matter how spiritual you are, doesn't matter how much self-belief you have. There comes a time where you just feel like you're in this big hole and you have no idea what is happening. And you want to really know that you are on the right path, right? That you are doing things right. So when you are at that place where that I just explained to you, I'm not going to say that again. I've been repeating myself a lot. What happens is that it's really triggering to be in that space. Why is it triggering? Because there is so much uncertainty. You are doing something that it's extremely uncomfortable because it's always uncomfortable to do something that you have no idea if it's causing the effect that you want. No matter how experienced you are in life, no matter how ahead you are in life and business, whatever that is, it's really, uncertainty is really triggering. And for example, for me, I lived with a lot of uncertainty when I was a child, and it's very attached to trauma. So uncertainty was not good because when I don't know what is happening, when I don't know how people are feeling, when I don't know what's the next step, like things can go really wrong for me. So that was the belief that I had when I was a kid and as I grew up, right? So all of that made me very sensitive to uncertainty. And it's triggering for many reasons, not only the uncertainty, it's triggering because you don't want to embarrass yourself. You don't want to waste your time. Certain things that you have to do if you are trying to create a business nowadays, you have to be online, right? And it's triggering to have to do that when you're not used to, when you think you don't have the skills. Just so many things that can trigger us in that time. And stepping out of your comfort zone all the time. All of this just puts your system in high alert. And what happens with many of us when our system is on high alert and it feels like you don't know where things are going and you are expecting or you are wanting a certain result, it's that it's going to activate control freak mode. It's going to activate it. It does for me when I feel, and I've seen it in clients as well, where I'm like, listen, you can make a decision. It's okay. There are no bad results. And they're trying to figure out if I go this way, then this result, and then the other result, and then the other thing. And they try to predict and control every single outcome, right? And why do we do that? It's not because we're stupid or there's nothing we can do with ourselves. This is just how we're going to be until the end of our lives. It's not true. That's not how you're going to be until the end of times. Okay. But we're just looking for safety. Okay. Remember the story I told you when I was a child, and it was uncertainty created that unsafe feeling, and it was really real, right? That was really real. And if you had experiences like that, you also know that you had those feelings and you still probably have some of those because of very real reasons. I was actually unsafe, but now we're not unsafe. Hopefully everybody is safe, and yeah, this goes if you are safe in life. Okay. If you're not, look for support. Please look for support. Right. So it's just that we are looking for that safety, and that safety shows up, that wanting to create safety shows up in the way of trying to control things. And the problem with always trying to control things is that it's not going to be just one thing. You eventually find yourself micromanaging and really hold on to how you think things should be. And if they are not going your way, then you get frustrated. And what happens after that? We start rushing processes that need more time to actually develop. We start making more mistakes. Many of us burn ourselves out because we are doing more than we are supposed to be doing. We are not asking for that support when we need that support. What else happens? We stop halfway. We don't actually wait to see things through, right? Because things are not going your way, then you look for other things that you actually can control. And if there is one thing that's really uncertain, is the life of an entrepreneur. I mean, it, every day is a surprise. Okay, every day is a surprise. You can even have that level of stability, but there's always this. You never know. Okay, it's just a lot of fires to put out. A lot of things happen. And that can be triggering for many people. And then you get into like, let me try and control everything. And that's not what we want, right? What we want is we want to find that sweet spot, because I know that if I tell you, yeah, let them, just trust the process, you're going to be like, fuck no. And you're right. You are right. I agree with you. It's not just about trusting the process, but also I want you to get out of that survival state, because wanting to control everything is a survival mechanism. And the survival mechanism is not going to help you build the life that you want. At least if you want to do it sustainably, without burnout, without beating yourself up and dragging yourself to the ground, it is not going to work. And we need to just drop the survival mechanism and focus on thriving energy, because what you need to build sustainably is thriving energy. You need to focus on not I'm in danger, and I understand how that can sound, because sometimes when we are in this space where nothing is happening and money needs to be made, for example, there is this thing of like, oh, wait a minute, this is actually survival. This is actually about survival. And I am not gonna hold you on that. You are completely right. That is totally a survival thing, because we need money to survive, right? But even though you needed to survive, which is a half through, but let's not go there. Um, you don't have to lead from that survival energy. You can lead from your thriving energy. And this is one of those things where I love working one-on-one with people, because then I can really work with them so they can get out of that surviving um, spiral. I call it the survival vortex, where you just, one thing happen after the other and something finally triggers you and you get into that survival vortex and you're like, oh my God, all of a sudden control freak mode activated, people pleaser activated, whatever that is. But the goal that we should think about is always getting back to that thriving energy, getting back to this is not me being stuck. This is me just having a challenge and I can get over this. This is me going through a phase where nothing happens, but actually things are happening because there is an invisible thread going around. Yeah. And the other thing also about when we try to control everything is that it's short lived, right? It's not, you try to control one thing and then all of a sudden you're just putting out a bunch of fires that you didn't need in the first place. If you just kept focused on that goal, what you were doing, the strategy that you were applying, then that would be enough. But then when we try to control everything, we kind of mess up the process. That's the thing. We don't want to mess up the process. We want the process to go like this. Okay, a little bit like this, because highs and lows, they always exist. Okay, so what's the sweet spot? What is the sweet spot? For me, the sweet spot is you remembering that you are moving the needle and that this tapestry is being built. Is you remembering, I love this visual idea because when I'm taking action, I can visualize literally a thread going through this invisible tapestry that is the life that I am creating right now. Because don't get me wrong, I help people build, but I'm building something myself as well. So everything that I share is very highly based in my clients, but also myself, because I go through all these things. And as when you start leveling up and more, you are going to realize that with every level, there's another devil, right? And you will feel triggered again, and you will have to revisit things again, and you will have to get out of survival again because it's a new level. And you get back to, oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh, it's unknown. Oh, it's uncertainty, right? So this really goes for you and for me. So for me, what helps me is to know that, yes, it's invisible right now. Yes, I'm doing a live and like two people are here, but I am, you know, planting seeds in my garden. And eventually my Substack garden is going to be completely different, right? It's going to look completely different. It's going to have way more flowers and plants and trees and beautiful benches, right? See how the vision can come to life when you know that you are working towards something, right? And and yeah, so you can't see the thread. The lesson is you can't see the thread, but the thread is there. It's a matter of continuing to take consistent action as you take care of yourself, right? Knowing that you are taking the action that you are supposed to take as you take care of yourself, and keep going. But really hard on taking care of yourself, okay? Not hard on working hard and doing more and trying, but like really hard on taking care of yourself so you can continue to walk towards your goals and trust, because it's easier to trust when you're regulated. When you're dysregulated, survival vortex, and it's really, really hard to trust yourself, trust the universe, trust the process. Yeah. So for me, trusting the process is being in co-creation with the universe, life, whatever you want to call it, and knowing that what I do is going to create a ripple effect. And even though I'm not seeing it now, I am going to see it soon. Yeah. So that's for me, that's the sweet spot of trusting the process and breathing out sometimes, not always being breathing in and hold, but just like breathing out and let things breathe and let the garden get some air, get some raining. Yeah. I'm so visual today. I hope you're enjoying all of this. And also let me know in the comments what you think about this, because I really want this to be a conversation, because these are some terms and some ideas that are so rich when we are talking to each other, because these are feelings, right? And I'm talking to you and all I see is just like these beautiful images. So if you feel comfortable enough, share with me in the comments, what is your experience with this? Are you a control freak? Are you something that is recovering? You know? So let's talk a little bit about how can you stay in that sweet spot? How can you allow yourself to trust the process as you take care of yourself and as you take action, right? So one of the things that I truly believe and I know that works is to ask for help and ask for support and let people into your garden. Let people into, oh, Claudia joining me. I was just talking about how like my Substack is going to grow and more flowers are going to join and Claudia joined. That's amazing. Hi, Claudia. So yeah, ask for support. and just allow people in and let other people help you build what is it that you are trying to build. And I'm not talking only about helping you directly. Obviously, that's the best way. Okay. Hi, beautiful. That's the best way when you have somebody to. I just had a beautiful session with a client this morning, and we sat down for 90 minutes, and it was so cool because she really let me into her world and what she wanted to create. And the session just flew by, and it was so powerful for her. And I know that it was powerful to me as well, because I could actually see the thread, right? And I helped her see the thread of possibilities for her business and how things can go for her. So that kind of support, that's amazing. If you want some, you can always DM me. But then there's also that other part where we sometimes don't allow people to to get into our world and let them know what's going on, right? And I'm so lucky to have a beautiful partner, and we just talk about things. And for me, it's also helpful because I have somebody to talk about these things. And when I am there in the whole nothing is happening, I have somebody just to remind me that, you know what, like you have been working, you have been creating your community, like things are going to happen soon, right? So just allow yourself to get that help, and just recently getting, for example, an assist. Listen, getting an assistant and thinking about giving away my passwords and giving away, okay, you do the clips and you post them. I was like very nervous at the beginning, but then I found the right person, and it was just like, I'm cool. She's awesome. So really make sure that to stay in that sweet spot between trusting the universe or trusting the process and taking action. Because how many times we start taking action, to me, this happens so many times. I really have to check myself on this one. I start on like, I'm taking action mode, and I'm like planning I'm going from here to there, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is what's going to happen because I did this and this and this, and I'm just action, action, action. I'm not even paying attention to what's happening around me. I am not even paying attention to where the thread is leading me. And that's the thing that I wanted to also share with you, to check in and see where this invisible thread that you are building as you take action, where is it taking you, right? Because if you have a business, sometimes like your services, your products, and what you will write about, what you will talk about, it's going to look very different according to what people want from you, right? Because for me, I work with women. They are building, they have businesses or creative outlets, whatever that is that they're trying to build. I am realizing that they need certain things, and I have them. So I am listening to my community, and and even then, I feel like it's the universe also talking to me and guiding me towards where I am supposed to go. Sometimes we get so obsessed with, okay, no, I want this to go this way. I want people to come from Substack, right? And then, maybe you have people on Facebook. So just pay attention to those signs and don't be so, because sometimes when we want to control everything, we forget to look to the other sides and follow what's more natural, what's more flowy. Controlling energy is not going to flow as well. So just really pay attention to that, because you're still taking action, you're still going, but you're not like just blindly going and don't see all the help that, that the universe is sending you. Today, I'm very spiritual. I don't know what's happening. But anyways, I'm very spiritual every day. It's just something that I usually don't share. But you know what? Today, I feel like sharing, and I'm all for authenticity. So there you go. Okay. And you know how people just talk about manifestation, and they're like, okay, you have to ask for what you want and be really specific and blah, blah, blah. I like the this or something better. It never failed me because it's going to surprise you. Okay. So do not close yourself off. Is as you're taking action, do not close yourself off because you never know. You never, never know. Okay. What else did I want to share with you? Okay. That's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope that this really inspired you to trust the process a little bit more and trust that you are doing what you are supposed to be doing and make that reflection about how things take time and don't be so hard on yourself, right? Because things sometimes, and as I write on my Tuesday tea, things really sometimes they take time. And I was telling in the Tuesday tea, I was telling you about that business mentor that told me, you know what, like you're doing something really fucking hard, but then when you get there, it's gonna be amazing. And I was like, oh, somebody told me it's hard. Somebody and I just love it when people are honest about things, right? It's not blocking anything. If somebody is telling you, look, like for you to get your business off the ground, like really, and just be able to relax and be at the beach and get 10 notifications, it's going to take you 3 years. Does it mean that it's going to take you 3 years and that's it? No, maybe you are good in 3 months, but it helps you to have that perspective of like, not everything goes so fast. And in the internet, we have this thing where it looks like everything is just so easy and simple. It's just like, oh, just, set a funnel and whatever. And yes, some things are really simple, but that's not the whole story. Okay. That's not the whole story. So, I really like this tone that we are leaving here of pure honesty, of being, dreamy and spiritual, but grounded as well. And knowing that an invisible thread is being built and eventually you are going to see the most beautiful tapestry and you're going to be like, oh, this made so much sense. This makes so much sense. That's why I couldn't go this way. That's why that deal didn't go. That's why I had to move back then. So really, that's what trusting the process to me means. And if you want to take it with you and roll with it and have it help your life, for me, that sounds absolutely amazing. And then there's also this other thing where I know that listening to this is inspiring. It's probably giving you fuel for an entire week. But if you want more support, you can join us in the Gentle Badass Academy because the Academy, which is my paid subscription or over here on Substack, is all about supporting you in the messy middle. We have trainings specialized to help you navigate life and build the life that you want bit by bit without sacrificing yourself, without overworking and all that. And then we have the other very important part of the academy is our Q&A sessions, and we also have focus session. What does that mean? Oh, thank you so much, Claudia. Claudia says, thanks for the inspiration. Thank you, lovely. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And we also have our Q&As where you could ask me any mindset questions, any strategy questions, anything that you are struggling with to build systems in your life and in your business. And then we have the focus sessions. What happens is when you are in this messy middle and you are feeling overwhelmed, then you have somewhere to go to help you deal with these problems. And then I will be there to remind you because we need that, right? We need those reminders, and we all need that support to help us build the life that we want, right? And I know how difficult it is to be in the messy middle and don't have that ongoing support. So if you want to join us in the Gentle Badass Academy, I would love to have you there. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I will answer of course, about the live, about the tea session, about the academy, anything that you want. Joining the academy is 22 euros per month. I can never say this like normally, but it's 22 euros per month. Or 77 for the year. And you have access to our library of premium resources. What did we do? We did yesterday our Substack training because a lot of the people inside of the academy are business women and they are thinking about Substack as well for their business. We had a cycle syncing masterclass, not a masterclass, actually, a workshop. And we have a whole 21-day experience with recorded mini trainings that you can listen to on the go. And this 21-day challenge was focused on helping you build the life you want step by step. So we have like 1 week, we are going to work on clarity, on amplifying your vision. Another week, we are working on creating that structure that really serves you, not only burns you out. And then in really taking action and stay consistent. So, I mean, there's just so much inside of the academy. It's just like a little bit of it. And yeah, all right. So now that we found the sweet spot between um, being a control freak and trusting the process, let's hold that energy. And I wish you have like an awesome day, an awesome weekend because it's Friday. And if you're watching this any other day, have an awesome day. Okay. And go ahead, be a badass because that's what you obviously are. But just remember to be gentle with yourself. Okay. Bye.